immediately.
Oh, am I to be banished, then?
I'm a hard-working journalist. I've got a deadline.
What the devil? Now, the police.
Oh, just a minute, Guy.
But, my dear Freddie...
Now, wait.
Freddie, in Paris we consider robbery to be a crime.
Oh, hell.
Oh, for heaven's sake, will you let me phone the police?
Oh, just a minute, Guy.
What was in there?
Oh, just a few bits of jewellery. Nothing that was worth anything.
No, but still, I'll phone the police.
Look, why don't you wait until I see what's missing?
Oh, Freddie, darling.
Please.
Look, I'll fix you a drink.
Guy, I don't want one. Would you mind just going home?
What?
Just go home now.
All right, if that's what you want. I'll call you in the morning.
Please. And Guy, don't say anything about this to anyone, will you?
No, okay. But still a crime has been committed.
Keep it reported, I promise.
Fine. Good night.
Good night.
Beautiful dreams.
British Embassy. I want to speak to Mr. Norman Morden Cross. Look, it's terribly urgent.
Oh. Damned female, no interruption was the order, wasn't it? Yes? Oh, very well. Put him through on the intercom.
Norton here.
Our instructions are quite clear, Norton. No interruptions.
I am aware of that, gentlemen, but is the Prime Minister?
He asked me to present his compliments to you both.
That sounds like a formal invitation to dinner at number 10. Come to the point.
A confidential report on Etienne Brule has been stolen from the Paris flat of Miss Frederica Moon. With the opening of the United Europe Economic Conference...
Brule is chairing that, isn't he?
Eh?
Brule is chairing the conference, isn't he?
Yes, opens in 3 days' time.
So he could be about to receive some unwelcome publicity.
Well, quite. Could ruin his career. What do you suggest?
Nothing.
Yeah?
I said nothing. There's nothing to connect the British Embassy in Paris with this questionable report by a young female journalist, is there?
No, I suppose not.
Then you do nothing but implicate yourselves. Good day. Well?
What about Miss Moon?
Oh, you're being tiresome, Norton. You know very well she's expendable. Go away.
That girl did some good work.
Some of her character analyses were possible, yes. But there'll be others. It's your go.
I've been.
Oh.
London's a bit upset about it, I'm afraid.
Well, that's only to be expected.
Any idea who might have taken it?
No, no idea at all. Oh, I've got a theory.
This is attractive, isn't it? All right, I'm listening.
Well, obviously it was a burglar who thought he was breaking into someone else's flat.
Now, why should he think that?
At best, my jewelry's worth about £100. Don't overestimate my literary ability. I'm what the slick magazines call a bright young promise. No, when he realized his mistake, he obviously took what there was. A few bits of jewelry and the envelope with a file in it. He probably thought it was valuable.
I see.
Well, it was in the safe. It's probably burnt. He'd have thrown it away by now.
That's what you're hoping, isn't it?
Look, it can't have been anyone else. No one knew that I prepared these confidential reports for government eyes only.
Well, that's not true for a start, is it?
What?
I knew.
Of course you knew. I did them for you.
Did Guy know?
Who?
This friend of yours, Guy Le Duc.
No, he didn't.
Are you quite sure of that?
You're accusing me of being indiscreet.
I am not. I am merely asking a question.
He knew nothing about that side of my business. Anyway, he was with me the whole evening.
Did you meet him here?
No, at the bar, Scott.
And he was waiting for you?
No, he telephoned from his office to say he'd be a few minutes late.
Did you get that as a message, or did you actually speak to him?
I spoke to him. What do the powers that be intend to do?
If the report comes to light, sell you short.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry I know that, my dear, but you knew the risks.
As a matter of fact, I feel rather sorry for you. After all, you've so much more to lose.
What do you mean?
Your handwriting was on that report. Had you forgotten? It's not like you.
Damn. Yes, I remember now. You showed it to me one night up here. I made some marginal notes on it.
So you see, if it does appear, there are going to be a few people rather curious as to why such an embarrassing document on an ally should have on it the handwriting of the financial advisor to the British ambassador. Would you like some music?
Under these circumstances, the government's policy of doing nothing is somewhat unsatisfactory. Now we've got to get that report back. And fast.
I'm so relieved.
Dear me, it's the personal file on Miss Moon. I thought we'd dealt with that problem.
Yes? Oh, hello, Sir Geoffrey.
Oh, Dimmock, I have some important information for you.
There's been a further development in the Moon case.
What sort of development?
Would you please tell Oldenshaw that Norman Morden Cross's handwriting
Writing is on the missing report.
Oh, dear. Hold on. In the finest tradition of the British Intelligence Service, Morden Cross has left his mark on the missing report.
Oh, dear, he would. It looks as though we're going to have to take an interest in this, Dimmock. The origins of that report never found its way to the French authorities. The devil of a bust-up. Our friends want to know why we are spying on them.
Very touchy of them. Everybody does it.
Oh, yes, it's done. But unlike justice, it must not be seen to be done.
Where have you gone to, Dimmock? Damn it, I can't sit here all day waiting while you two discuss the situation.
I sent you Miss Moon's personal file.
What's he say?
What do you say, Sir Geoffrey?
Have you told Oldenshaw?
What? Yes, hold on. Yeah, I've told him.
Get Norton to make a few inquiries about a character called Guy Le-Duc. He's a boyfriend of Moon's.
Yeah, please start making inquiries about Monsieur Guy Le-Duc. Sugar?
No, never take it. Huh?
Sir Geoffrey, see if he's the kind of man to do a deal with General Gavreau.
Who?
General René Gavreau, extreme right wing. He was behind that coup that failed a couple of years ago. He has a villa on the outskirts of Paris, bristling with bodyguards.
Well, I'll make inquiries. What do we do if this man Leduc has got the missing report?
Do we pay up, of course, smartly? We don't want somebody like General Gavreau to get his hands on it.
My name is Gilles. I am the General's aide.
How do you do?
The General will see you now.
Thank you.
Monsieur Guy Le-Duc.
General Gavreau.
How do you do? We've met before. It was some years ago.
That is correct, sir. I was a war correspondent in one of your colonial campaigns.
Anyway, Gilles, what have I told you? I never forget a face. Now, sir, how can I be of service to you?
Oh, it's the other way round, General. I believe I can be of service to you.
In what way?
As a newspaper man, I have followed your career with interest.
Many people do. I have never tried to conceal the fact that I intend to rule this country.
Now, that is an ambition that I can help you to achieve.
Can you? May I ask what it is you want?
In return, straight cash.
No political favors?
No. I am merely interested in enjoying myself while still a young man.
How much?
$100,000.
It is not an insignificant sum of money.
To achieve everything you want? I don't think it is.
Everything?
Yes. I can supply you with something which will discredit one of your most formidable rivals, reveal a state of suspicion between this country and its allies,
And finally, create such a scandal that it will shake most of your enemies from office, leaving you free to move in.
For all this, $100,000 is a small price to pay.
Oh.
What exactly are you selling?
A document.
Gilles is not only my aide, he's my confidant.
Ah.
Continue.
It's a document prepared by a member of the British Secret Service. A detailed character analysis and history on Etienne Brule. You know the sort of thing I mean.
If such a one is misplaced, the government concerned denies all knowledge of its existence. So what makes your report so valuable?
The handwriting on it.
Handwriting. That's interesting. Do you know whose?
Norman Morden Cross.
Financial advisor to the British ambassador.
Yes.
Of all this, you're certain?
I've seen the handwriting several times.
Where did you get the document?
That's not important. Do you want it?
It might be useful to me. I'll think about it. Good day, Monsieur le Duc.
Good day, General.
Gilles!
We shall be in touch with you.
Good.
I gather from our agents in Geneva that the supply of plastic bombs smuggled across the border is getting increasingly difficult.
Yes, sir. The customs appear to be working overtime these days.
What was your impression of Le Duc?
He's not a crank.
No, he's an astute man. If the document's all that he claims it to be, he's right. It could be used to devastating effect.
It will certainly finish Brule.
Published at the right moment, Gilles, it will not only finish Brule, it will make a mockery of the new Entente, wreck the United European Economic Conference. What is more, it will bring down our government, as the young man realizes. In future, our supply of plastic will be smuggled across the border near Bow.
Very good, sir.
We haven't got the money. I want that document, Gilles.
Was anything else stolen?
A few personal papers. Nothing of any value.
Well, what did the police say?
The usual thing. A spate of robberies in the area. They're working on it.
Darling, why do you lie to me?
What do you mean?
I'm a journalist with connections. I know you haven't been to the police.
Oh.
Why?
Well, it didn't seem worth it. A few bits of cheap jewellery.
Oh, darling, you don't expect me to believe that. Excuse me. Le Duc? Yes? 10 o'clock tonight. I'll be here. Right. Goodbye. Well?
Well, what?
Why didn't you go to the police?
Darling, there is a reason. I can't tell you.
You have problems, my love?
Mm. Oh, trust me.
Cross can work fast when he has to.
Yes, and his reputation's at stake.
Well, we all work a little bit better with a bit of pressure. But don't tell Norton I said so.
Mr. Le Duc seemed to be something of a ladies' man.
Blast women in their private lives. Blast the efficient but emotional Miss Moon.
No criminal record?
That doesn't surprise me. Only proves he has the wit to keep out of the hands of the police. The rest of his dossier is in character.
Age 35, sub-editor of a newspaper, married 1956. And how long after until his wife discovered her ghastly error of judgment?
Yes. Although he failed as a husband, he had considerable success with a number of rich and attractive women.
Yeah, they're so naive, aren't they? I mean, look at him. What could an intelligent girl like Moon see in that weak, good-looking face?
Enough to let him infiltrate. That's the right word. So that he could steal the document from her.
Oh, I know who that'll be.
Yes, put him out of his misery.
Yeah?
Dimmock, about the Moon case. Oh, I think we'd better scramble.
Nonsense. Our deductions are quite simple and not in the least secret. Le Duc has the documents, and Cross and his fellow workers must get them back. End of case.
So Monsieur le Duc is not involved.
definitely not Mr. Morden Cross.
And on what do you base that submission?
I know him.
Do you?
He knows there's something going on. He knows I didn't go to the police. He's worried for me. He's concerned.
How very touching.
I know people. To the extent that the government employs me to write confidential character analyses.
Yes, those with whom you're not personally involved.
What are you implying? He's a friend, nothing more.
Oh, really, my dear, listen to this.
Hello?
Darling, it's Guy.
Oh, darling, don't tell me something's happened.
No, my sweet, nothing serious. There's a late story coming. I've got to sort it out. It won't take long.
When will you be here?
Oh, about 15 minutes.
I'll wait for you here then, at the bar.
Right, darling. My love.
And mine to you.
Do you recognize that?
Of course. Where did you get it?
Off that telephone. Now, don't look at me like that. Telephone tapping's a standard procedure in this business. I should have thought you'd have realized that by this time. While the Duke kept you waiting at the bar, Escott, he was here ransacking this flat. He has that report. He's the thief.
I suggest you leave.
I'm sorry if I appear to be ungentlemanly, but I'm afraid I must refuse. You saw the Duke today, didn't you? Did he by any chance try to blackmail you?
You make me sick.
That's not important. The report is.
Well, if it gives you any satisfaction. As a matter of fact, it didn't.
And obviously he has other plans for it.
Well, that's your problem, not
My
mine.
dear good girl, there's a great deal at stake. What's he doing today?
I've no idea.
Are you seeing him this evening?
No. He's got another engagement.
Oh, has he? With whom?
I don't know.
Where, do you know?
At his flat.
At what time?
10 o'clock.
Then I suggest that you get over there a little earlier and find a place to listen in. Maybe you'll win some of your buttons back.
Guy? Why are you sitting in the dark? Guy, you didn't have anything to do with that burglary, did... You might answer me. Oh, Guy, for heaven's sake.
The man had been shot at very close range. The gun was still at his side.
Did Cross get an opportunity to go through his things?
It was difficult. They managed it after the police had gone. There wasn't a sign of anything that might have come from Miss Moon's apartment.
Well, I suppose he got rid of it. He is known to have visited General Gavreau early in the day. I don't think there's any doubt as to who has this unfortunate document now.
No. We shall need a detailed plan of the General's villa. Very trying.
Well, that means sending somebody in to recover the damn thing, and it won't be easy.
Surely the problem is relative according to whom is sent.
Had you anyone specific in mind?
I should have thought one name would have leapt to your mind. Miss Moon, Miss Frederica Moon.
But she's being held by the French police on suspicion of murder. Still?
But that's absurd.
Yes, of course it is. Look, at 9:35 p.m., the French police got a call, which they say came from the Duke.
Why?
The transcript of evidence reveals that there were no fingerprints on the telephone. Ergo, Miss Moon is innocent.
I beg your pardon. I don't quite follow.
Oh, really, Norton? We shall have to get to some reading matter on the process of clear thought. If Leduc had made the telephone call, his prints would have been on the telephone, am I right?
Yes.
Miss Moon, having shot her lover, would hardly contact the constabulary, wait for him, then protest her innocence, now would she?
Possibly not.
Enter, therefore, a third party, the murderer.
Yes. We rather distrust that kind of hypothesis at Scotland Yard. Yeah, why should the murderer communicate with the police?
You're not thinking it through. Having removed a document of value to the British government, the murderer then hinders our progress in its recovery by surrounding the victim with officialdom.
If the Foreign Office applies for the return of a state paper, the French government can hardly refuse.
Think, man, think. How can the British government concern itself officially with a document that cannot officially exist?
Ah.
Kindly arrange for Miss Moon's immediate release and dispatch her with all haste to the General's villa.
Have her editor commission an article on General Gavreau. He's a public figure. It shouldn't be too difficult.
Very well, I'll do what I can.
And while you're so doing, there's a newspaper called, freely translated, I matter, The Heart of the People, in which the General has an interest. We would like to take a full-page advertisement daily on the front page. Would you see that?
An advertisement on the front page of The Heart of the People? Yes.
Who let you in?
Let's just say I'm an unwelcome guest.
What do you expect me to do? Thank you for getting me out of prison.
Not at all. It was quite obvious you hadn't killed him.
Oh, I thought differently. Woman betrayed by a lover. Crime passionnel. It's the appropriate cliche, isn't
London knew you were innocent.
it? I'm quite sure they did. I dare say the hatchetman's got a knighthood. Perhaps you're in line for one, too. Oh, go on. You've got your document. Get out.
We haven't got it.
You're lying.
I wish I were, but we weren't invited to Leduc's death. You know we don't go in for that sort of thing, except in emergency.
Well, who killed him, then?
Well, we don't know who actually pulled the trigger, but we have a very shrewd idea who organized it.
Who?
A man named Gavreau.
General René Gavreau?
That's the man. He'll use that report to ruin Brule, thus breaking the government.
Well, you'd better do something about it, hadn't you?
But we need your help.
I was fired, remember?
I thought I was the one who was supposed to be callous. The man you loved has been killed, murdered.
He didn't love me. He lied. He was a cheat.
But he loved you. You loved him, didn't you?
You know where to hit, don't you? All right, what do you want me to do?
Research an article on Gavreau. Oh, don't worry. This time it'll be all completely above board. Every line in it publishable.
Subject to whose editorial approval?
View magazine.
Oh, God. How you wheel and deal.
We want a plan of his villa. We'll supply you with a miniature camera. What you can't photograph, you can memorize or make rough sketches in your notebook. Try and get as much as you can.
Well, when does this fateful interview take place?
This afternoon. The appointment's already been made.
One of these days I shall do a confidential character analysis on you.
Do you think it'd be more damning than the one I could do on myself? But I do my job. Ultimately, that's all that matters. Look, this is the camera. Take a photograph, press the top one, roll the film, press the bottom one, all right? An unusual piece of jewelry. Oh, the appointment's at 3. I'll call back.
This document's an astonishing piece of work. Accurate, decisive, devastating. When does the conference open?
Tomorrow evening there's to be a special banquet at which Brule will make the opening address. The actual sessions will start on the following morning.
The day after tomorrow. That's when my newspaper will publish this report. On the front page.
I told the editor to hold space on it, sir.
I want the entire page.
Very good, sir. You know, of course, it'll take time to make the plate. When may they have the report?
The document will not leave the villa. I want the photo engraving done here in my darkroom. Fernand Doré can do it. Contact him. I want him here tomorrow night at 23:30 hours.
Well, that's cutting it a bit fine, sir. By the time the plate's been finished and delivered, the presses will be ready to roll.
Exactly. Thus ensuring that as few people as possible know about it. Would you like a drink?
Thank you, sir. To success, sir?
To a new France, Gilles.
Oh, Miss Freddie Moon from View magazine will be arriving in a few minutes, sir, to interview you. Miss Moon?
Yes.
How do you do? I'm Gilles, the General's aide.
How do you do?
This way, please. The General is expecting you. Miss Moon, sir.
Enchanted. I have long been an admirer of your work.
You're very kind, General.
Thank you, Gilles. May I offer you a drink?
Thank you. Campari nice, I think. This is a very attractive room, General.
Thank you. I designed it while I was living abroad. This is a replica of the original. I find it comfortable and familiar. Campari?
Thank you.
A very good health. That's a most unusual design.
Yes, it's a family heirloom. Rather valuable. May I see the rest of the house?
But of course. Shall we begin with the patio?
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Geoffrey. The advertising space on the front page is available every day for the next week, with the notable exception of the day after tomorrow.
Ah. Did you say what the normal run of the paper was and when it was put to bed?
Normal run when it's put to bed. I didn't know you were conversant with the journalistic idiom.
My youth was misspent in various ways.
The press is going to bed at 3:30 a.m. and the run is 100,000.
How very accurate, Dimmock.
I got everything on the ground floor. But there's a cellar. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get down there.
It's a pity.
I made a few notes on the distribution of the guards about the place. Oh, yes. And one or two things that the General said that might be of interest.
Such as?
Well, he described one room as being a replica of a room he had in his empire building days.
That might well apply to the entire villa. I wonder if London could get hold of the original plans.
If the rest of the photographs tally, that ought to be enough to go on. Well?
Well, what?
Do I get my buttons back?
How typical. To design his villa as a replica of his colonial campaign headquarters. The colonial one, the villa outside Paris, they're exactly the same. Even the telephone switchboard's in the same place. There's a step up from the salon in both cases. Everything is apparently identical.
Let's hope the basements in both villas are identical, too.
And the door leading down from the hall is in the same place. There.
In that case, we must assume that the darkroom, our objective, will be there.
Yes. I wonder how long it'll take the car to go from the villa to the newspaper office.
Oh, from the map, I'd say just over an hour.
Presses roll at 3:30 a.m., therefore the plates will have to be ready at 2.
Quite. Therefore, we'll have to know how long it'll take Mr. Cross to get into the villa and down to the darkroom. Right.
Why the hell they can't leave this business to me, I can't imagine.
We didn't exactly impress them the first time, did we?
With Le Duc, you mean? I didn't realize Gavreau could be so ruthless.
But you do now. In fact, you did before you sent me to see him. He's not the only ruthless one, is he?
Ever come across this man on your travels?
Who is he?
He's a photographer named Fernand Doré. London believes that he's the man who will make the plate. We are keeping an eye on him.
Where is he now?
At home.
The longer he stays there, the happier I'll be.
Miss Moon said she timed the sentry going round the inner area of the villa, and it took him 4 minutes. At night he'll walk more slowly. We'll allow 6.
Right. I can see him now. I've got him in my periscope. He's passing by now. He's gone round the corner.
Right. Go. Collapse periscope. Conceal it. Rope ladder over the wall. The spike should hold it. Right, up you go.
Now, height wall, 11 foot 6.
Yep.
1 foot 6. 3 foot.
Got plenty of time. The sentry won't be back for 5 minutes and 41 seconds.
4 foot 6. I can see over the top of the wall. 1 more.
Watch out for the spikes. Yep. Good, good. Oh, we're getting along splendidly. Right, jump. You have 5 seconds to recover. See that the coast is clear. Then across the garden hill for leather. Go.
40.
Through the arch.
32.
Round first corner and down the steps. Don't break your neck.
45.
Second corner.
55 under.
Splendid. And well within the allotted time limit.
Oh, good. Didn't fancy getting caught.
Right, now take a breather.
I don't see why I had to rush around the room like that. I could have got it much more easily from the plan.
Nonsense. You're just lazy. Now, let's have another look at that coal hole. Yes, looks a fairly standard lock. Skeleton key should cope with that.
Hey, what if there's coal there?
There won't be.
Oh?
Look at that.
Ah, oil intake.
Yes. Now, let's get back to the car. You see, they've used a ducted warm air system. How very obliging of them.
There's a fireplace.
It's an open fireplace. Logs. Right, ready for more action?
Yes, I suppose so.
Remember, you're outside the coal hatch. Right now, open it.
Skeleton key out. Give me 10 seconds to select the right key.
Right, we'll add that on later.
Yeah. All right, opening now.
Quietly. Oil for the hinges, just in case. In you go.
Right.
And close it behind you. Good.
Now, for the next part of this exhausting obstacle course.
At what time did they say they'd phoned through this alleged plan?
They didn't. They said as soon as possible. Oh, for heaven's sake, relax.
How can I? The God, I could go in myself, on my own initiative.
They told you to wait.
Look, it wasn't your handwriting on that report, was it?
Now. Don't be unfair. I'm not the one that's holding you up.
Right, you're in the wine cellar with your eye on the dark room. Any moment now, Dory will come out to see what's gone wrong, leaving the door open for obvious reasons. Right, now he's coming out. He's going round the corner. Right, in you go. Shutting and locking the door behind you. And I'd say you could allow 3 minutes before emerging triumphantly.
Splendid. Do you think it'll work?
If Cross can't do it with this amount of pre-planning, he ought to resign his post immediately. The time is now 10 o'clock. Our perambulations have taken 1 hour, 10 minutes. We'll allow an hour and a quarter if it's safe. That means he has to go over the top at 12:45 precisely.
10:30. Takes an hour to drive out there.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. They told you to wait.
If those idiots in London have no idea of time, I have. Damn thing will be printed by the time I get there. Oh, I'm going.
Good gracious me. He did what? When? About? I don't want to know vaguely. I want to know exactly. 10:30. He'll never succeed in his own without a plan.
It's the end of
All right. You're on your own now. Now, radio us when you get to the villa. Now, listen carefully. This is what you have to do. Dog to Charlie Fox Baker. Victor Able Dog to Charlie Fox Baker. 12:43. Where the hell is that girl? She should be there by now. Must be driving like a snail. Victor Able Dog to Charlie Fox Baker. Victor Able Dog to Charlie Fox Baker. Well, if she's not there in 30 seconds, we can say goodbye to our entente with one European country.
Reminds me of the beginning of the war. Big Ben struck 11, and we heard, and no such undertaking has been received.
Victor Able Dog to Charlie Fox Baker. Victor Able Dog to Charlie Fox Baker.
Charlie Fox
You've come a bit far,
Baker,
Freddie.
Able Dog.
Still, glad you're with us. No sign of cross, I suppose?
No.
All right. It's all up to you now. You can start your operation now, and good luck.
Thank you.
Right. With any luck, she'll be over the wall.
Look, we're assuming Cross has been killed.
You mean he might have been taken prisoner?
Yes.
It's going to complicate the issue.
Complicate? That's a masterly understatement.
Well, let's have a look at the available space suitable for incarceration. That's an obvious cell, and it's right opposite the wine cellar.
So we must assume there's a guard there. The girl will run straight into him.
Somehow or other, we've got to distract him.
From here?
I've got an idea. Is there a telephone there?
Yes, there.
Oh, yes. Good. It's right round the corner. I think a Hofenstädter printing press might be the answer.
I want the best job you've ever done, Ferrand.
It will be, General.
Good. Now lock yourself in.
Yeah.
Thank you. She's fused the smoke bomb.
We'll give her 2 minutes to replace the inspection cover. And in another 2 minutes, we'll start the presses.
It's about time we phoned our ambassador out there. It's ringing now. Thank God for STD. Now, how can I make myself sound like a French working-class typesetter?
You should have thought of that before. However, if I make this loud enough, you shouldn't have to bother.
She must have succeeded. Didn't hang up with a yell.
Unless, of course, she never tried.
Oh, don't be so pessimistic. She's safely in the wine cellar without a care in the world.
In a good wine cellar, who wouldn't be? She has 6 minutes to wait.
The air conditioner, quick! It's on fire! Fire!
What the hell's going on here?
It was the air conditioner. I shut down the system.
But what the document and the plate?
They're all right, General. It was only smoke. The door open.
There's somebody in there. Get the prisoner out. Now, stand back, all of you.
Good evening, General.
Take them up to the salon. Should be over.
Apart from the strategic withdrawal.
You think you're clever destroying the Brûle report. But you're still here. And you're at my mercy.
And you can be merciless, can't you, General?
What do you mean by that?
Guy le Duc.
That was an unfortunate political necessity.
British ambassador is in the foyer, sir. He says he understands that a Mr. Norman Cross has dropped in for a drink with you and suggests that he give him a lift back to the embassy.
British ambassador?
Well,
ask him in for a drink.
I'm afraid that's not all, sir. He's also brought an inspector of police with him who mentioned a Guy le Duc.
I see. My dear ambassador, gentlemen, this is a great honor.
I'm glad we were able to put our ambassador to some use. They're rather a dull time nowadays.
Yes, instant communication has put an end to most of their duties, fortunately.
Well, in that case, it's rather a pity we have to spend $24,000 a year on our embassy. That doesn't even include lighting and heating.
Yes, indeed. Wasn't it Sir Henry Wotton, James I's ambassador to Venice, who said, an ambassador is an honest man sent to lie abroad for the sake of his country. It raised a storm throughout Europe, losing Wotton for a time in the favor of James I. He apologized later, I think. Oh, yes, and he said it was only a merriment, and drew attention to the double meaning of the word lie. To lie abroad. I think I prefer Elizabethan to modern English, don't you?